Okay, Bill, I'm going to review your swing, and I think I dropped you a mail that we can get that grip done in the morning. I think you're the one of the group that wrote it from me, right? Let me see. Yes. First thing when you get there, we'll take that in, and they usually can knock that out pretty quickly. There's 2 or 3 of them there. So, and the other thing I notified you of is that I don't think I have an email for Amy. I just have the one that you signed up under, okay? Okay, so to your swing now. Obvious difference here, right? Arms directly down under the shoulders. Golf club pointed right at the belt buckle, okay? So you can see the arms are out here and the club is pointed here. So we have to come in. Eventually we have to come in. Now the reason you've adopted this posture, this distance from the ball, is based on your old swing. Now as we make some changes, you will not be able to stand this far from the ball and get the results that we're looking for. So that's the first thing that we did. Okay. I don't think I changed your grip, did I? No, I don't think I did, because your grip's pretty strong as it is. Let me see. Right, so you have a very strong grip as it is. So I might have to go back the other way with that a little bit, but for now we're going to leave that where it is until we actually make the changes that we want. Okay. So we'll little by little we'll move in closer to the ball. That's the only change for now. Okay. Now the thing that happens for him is as he comes back here, the club is in line with his hands. The left arm, let me get this blue line out of here. The left arm is on the chest. The club is in line with the hands. Here we still have the big gap. Left arm way off the chest, club outside the hands. Okay, so this gap eventually, for you to be more consistent and get your body more connected with your arms, that gap will have to be closed a little bit. Okay? Now as you take it up, one of the things that happens is this. You can see where your hands are fairly close to your head at the top of the swing. Okay? And you can see where his hands are well behind his head. So full shoulder turn. The hands are further back. Okay, so we want to get yours eventually further back. Okay. The other thing that happens is, this is the beginning of the crux of the matter, is that your club points well right of where you're going here. And what happens now is that starts the club down on a very vertical plane. Okay, so let's say that your hands are about shoulder high right there, right? Okay. I want to bring his hands down about as low as yours over here. So his hands and your hands are about the same point in the downswing. Okay. I've got one club here looking at about 45 degrees and a club here looking at about 75 degrees. Okay, I've got the hands still back here under the shoulder. I've got the hands already committed out here. So that's what we call very steep in the transition of your swing. Very steep, starting down. Okay. Now as you come down, the club is still through the, we're seeing it through the neck area. And at that point down where you are, we're seeing the club still through the bicep area. So it's all based on getting this swing a little bit more on the right plane. Club's pointed at the ball, actually at a point on the line with the ball. This club's pointed more at the ground, okay? Now here comes your bailout. You see that first move up there? This move that you're about to make in your golf swing is a result of that club being as steep as it is. And when you come up out of it like that with the hands this far away from the body, we can't be as consistent as we need to be. So as he comes down here, you see where the hands are in relation to the body? So he doesn't have to come up because that club's not going to crash. That club's headed for a crash. So most everything that you do, pitching, chipping, swinging, it's all kind of to what we call vertical. And that has to send the club out away from your body, and you have to stand up to hit it. And that'll lead to more inconsistencies that you want. So little by little, I would bring you back on what we call the correct plane. We didn't work on the driver a lot today. We're going to work on it more tomorrow. But you'll see the same sort of a thing here. Pointed to the right, the elbow flies out a little bit. Now it starts down very steep. Okay, so one of the things that we feel, this is the same player that I just had, happens to be Sergio Garcia, but it doesn't matter, they'll all be similar. As I was talking today, I think either in the opening clinic or to some of your individual instruction, you heard me talking about a sidearm delivery, right? So again, the angle of the club here is some 40 degrees and some 65 degrees. The hands are well behind the shoulder. And the hands are already committed for you out front. So if I bring you down about as low as he is, you see how far out the hands are from the body? Right, so they're out. Now you're starting to bail out already. You can see the body coming up, up, up. And, you know, with a driver, sometimes we get lucky with that. But if you get a tight lie on the turf, that is a dangerous proposition because there you are at the impact. And there's where you started. So you can see the raise up, right? And you can see the lunge at the ball with the body. In other words, if I drew this down, you'd want to keep the seat pretty much on that. And you can see where you finish, right? Look how close the hands are to the body. And you'll notice that the club is pretty much back to the angle that it started on. And actually, it's actually perfectly on the angle it started on. This camera is moving a little bit. So you can see the camera move there a little bit. And that's the reason. But the angle, again, another way of looking at this to understand it, the club is pointed pretty much right at the belt buckle. Right? And if we bring this back to him here, the body stays right there, so there's no lunging toward the ball and raising of the hands. So bottom line is I'd like to get your swing a little more compact, a little more connected, as much as we can. This is not an all or nothing at all. You've got plenty of power, plenty of speed. The last thing that you would need is to hit the ball any harder. So it's so he never really leaves that spine angle. Never really leaves that spine angle. The hips stay in the same box that they started in. Now, of course, you're not going to do it like this. That's not the purpose of putting him on the screen by comparison. The purpose of is to give you some ideas where your swing could improve. And this is what I would call very much a sidearm delivery. Very much a delivery where he's skipping a stone across the pond, or he's throwing underhand, if you would, in baseball. And the idea being that yours becomes a very vertical chopping delivery. So that's going to help us a lot in getting you more on plane, so the body can stay more in the posture that you're swinging and not have to bail out. If I can get rid of 10 degrees of steepness in your swing, it's not going to look like Garcia, but if we can get rid of some small percentage of the steepness, then you're more likely to stay down in the shot and not have to bail out of it. So people will say you come up. Yes, you do come up, but that's a matter of necessity. And that's what I want you to realize about your swing. So gradually we're going to bring you back in. We're going to try to give you some exercises with, I'll put head covers under your arms so that you can swing, and give you a drill that you can do when you're at the club working on it. You'll feel that if we can get this club down further back here, and I would like to see it more extension of your arm. So the golf club itself would be on this little bit of a plane. Then we would drop it. All we would do is drop it back here. We don't have to go that way and send it way out, and now start down steep and then have to bail out. So I'm going to try to get this connected by flattening the swing. That's basically what we're talking about. Okay, I hope that explains the nature of the problem and what we can do about it in the next couple days. Just follow along with me tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get you to feel this all the way throughout your game, bunkers, pitches, full swing, so that we can get rid of this gap in here. And it's all based on getting the club more on plane, more horizontal. All right, I hope you enjoyed your first day. I hope you played well and enjoyed Hammock Bay. So we'll see you tomorrow morning.